Have you ever been at the store with your family and seen a grown-up at the checkout counter? Maybe they're buying groceries, a new toy, or even just a treat. And instead of using colorful bills or jingling coins, they use a little plastic card instead of money? It seems so simple, doesn't it? It looks like magic. They tap the card on a machine or swipe it through a slot with a simple motion. And just like that, suddenly they can take home all sorts of things, like groceries to fill the fridge, or that shiny new toy they promised you. But have you ever stopped to wonder, is it really magic? How does that little card work? Not quite. There's no hocus pocus involved. That card is called a credit card, and it's not just any piece of plastic. It's a special tool from the bank, a place that helps people manage their money. Unlike cash, which you can see and count, feeling the weight of each bill in your hand, a credit card lets you buy things right now, in the moment, even if you don't have the money in your pocket, and pay for them later, giving you time to gather the funds. It's not filled with invisible money. There's no secret stash hidden inside. It's more like a promise, a special agreement. When a grown-up uses a credit card to buy something, the bank steps in and pays the store for them, acting as a middleman. And then, the grown-up promises to pay the bank back soon, usually at the end of the month. Imagine wanting that super cool toy you saw at the store, but sadly, not having enough allowance saved up in your piggy bank. With a credit card, a grown-up can get it for you now, making your wish come true instantly. And worry about paying for it a little bit later. The bank trusts the cardholder, the person using the card, to pay them back responsibly, just like someone might trust you to take care of their pet, making sure it's fed and happy. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility. It's a big deal to be trusted with a credit card. You have to understand how it works, learning the rules of the game, to use it wisely, making smart choices about what you buy. So the next time you see that magic card shimmering in the light, remember, it's not magic, no matter how easy it looks. It's a promise to pay, a serious commitment, and being trusted to keep that promise, to honor your word, is a big deal, showing that you're responsible and reliable. That's why it's important to learn how to use it safely, understanding the rules and risks when you grow up and have your own magic card. So how does this idea of pay later really work in the real world? It sounds simple, but there's a bit more to it than just saying you'll pay someone back eventually. Let's break down the process and see what's really happening behind the scenes when you use a credit card or any other pay later method. When someone uses a credit card to buy something, whether it's a small treat or a big purchase, the bank steps in and pays the store for the item almost immediately. The store gets their money right away, which is great for them. The grown-up, or the cardholder, gets to take home the item they wanted. But now they have a responsibility because they owe that money to the bank. It's like borrowing from a friend, but this friend is a bank. At the end of the month, when the calendar pages turn and a new month begins, the bank sends a bill, usually in the mail or online, listing each and every item that was bought with the card during that month. It's a detailed record of all your purchases. It's like a friendly reminder. Remember those groceries you bought last week and that shiny new toy you couldn't resist? Well, now it's time to pay us back for those things. Think of it like helping a friend out at a school bake sale. If you buy a delicious cookie from them, they make a promise to pay you back the money later on. It's a small transaction built on trust. In this case, the bank is acting like that helpful friend who's willing to front you the money, and you, as the cardholder, are making a promise to return the money to them at a later date. This system can be incredibly helpful, especially when unexpected surprises pop up in life, like needing to fix a broken-down car to get to work, or having to replace a broken refrigerator to keep your food from spoiling when you need to make an urgent purchase. But here's the most important part to remember. It's absolutely crucial to keep your promise and pay the bank back the money you borrowed. If you don't fulfill your promise, the bank won't be very happy about it, and you might find it difficult or even impossible to borrow money from them again in the future. So, think of a credit card as a useful tool, especially for handling those unexpected surprises that life throws your way, but only if you're committed to keeping your promise and paying back what you borrow. That's the key ingredient that makes the whole system work smoothly and fairly for everyone involved. Remember, it's not free money that you get to keep. It's a serious promise that you're making to pay back what you spend. And being a reliable promise keeper is what matters most when it comes to using credit responsibly. When it comes to acquiring the things we need or want, there are fundamentally two main ways to get money. These two paths dictate how we interact with our finances and shape our understanding of value. One is earning, and the other is borrowing. Each has its own set of rules, benefits, and responsibilities. Earning means you work for your money. You exchange your time and effort for financial compensation. This could be something like doing chores around the house for an allowance, a classic example of earning. When you spend earned money, it feels great, doesn't it? That's because you worked for it. You understand the value of each coin and bill. There's a sense of accomplishment tied to every purchase. Borrowing, on the other hand, is a completely different ballgame. It's when you use someone else's money for a while, accessing funds that aren't immediately yours. This comes with a promise to pay it back, usually with some extra on top, like interest. Think about using a credit card. That's essentially borrowing from the bank. You didn't do chores for the bank. You didn't earn that money directly. Instead, you're just promising to return their money soon, often with interest or fees. Imagine earning is like filling your own bucket with water, drop by drop, through hard work and dedication. Borrowing, in this analogy, is like using someone else's bucket when yours is empty, giving you access to water immediately. But remember, you have to refill their bucket later, returning the water you borrowed. Earning means the money is truly yours. You own it outright. Borrowing, however, means you have a job to do. You have a responsibility to pay it back, often with interest. Both ways, earning and borrowing, can help you get what you need, whether it's a new toy or something more important. But borrowing comes with responsibility. It's a serious commitment. Knowing when to use your own money, which you've earned, and when to borrow is a crucial skill, a key aspect of financial literacy. It's a skill that even grown-ups practice and refine throughout their lives. If you borrow, you absolutely must return what you took, as agreed upon. That's the big difference between earning and borrowing, ownership versus obligation. Understanding this fundamental difference helps you be smart with money, making informed choices about your finances. And being smart with money, well, that's a superpower that will serve you well throughout your entire life. Let's use a story. Imagine your friend Leo lets you borrow his new race car toy. You promise to bring it back tomorrow. You play with it, have fun, and then return it just as you found it. Leo is happy and you kept your promise. That's how borrowing should work, whether it's a toy or money. If you forget to return the toy, Leo might be upset. If you lose it, you've broken your promise. Borrowing money is even more serious. If a grown-up doesn't pay the bank back, the bank gets upset and might not lend to them again. Keeping your promises shows you're trustworthy. That's why it's so important to return what you borrow. It's not just about toys or money. It's about trust. When you keep your promises, people and banks will trust you again. Borrowing is a big responsibility, and being a good borrower is a superpower too. Here's a new word: debt. Debt means you owe something to someone. When you borrowed Leo's car, you were in debt until you returned it. When a grown-up uses a credit card, they owe the bank money. That's their debt. Debt is like a task on your to-do list. Pay it back and it disappears. Imagine your friend writes, "I owe you $1 on a note" after you buy them a cookie. The credit card bill is like a big official "I owe you" note from the bank. Having a little debt you can pay back easily is okay. But too much debt can feel heavy, like borrowing toys from 10 friends and trying to remember to return them all. That's why it's important to only borrow what you can pay back. Debt isn't always bad, but it's a responsibility. If you pay it back quickly, it's no problem. If you don't, it can become stressful. So always keep track of what you owe. And remember, paying off debt feels great. It means you kept your promise. Borrowing money from a bank is different from borrowing a toy. When you borrow money, you often have to pay back a little extra. This is called interest. Interest is like a thank you fee for using the bank's money. If you pay the bank back quickly, you might not owe any interest. But if you take longer, the bank adds a little more to what you owe. Over time, that extra can add up. So, the smartest way to borrow is to pay back the full amount as soon as you can. That way, you only pay for what you bought, not a lot of extra fees. Being quick to pay back is the best plan. Let's imagine you need an orange crayon for your art project, but you don't have one. Your friend Maya lets you borrow hers, but asks for a yellow crayon as a thank you when you return it. You agree, finish your drawing, and give Maya back her orange crayon plus your yellow one. That yellow crayon is like interest, a little extra for the favor. The bank does the same. If you borrow money and take a while to pay it back, you owe a little extra. But if you return the crayon right away, Maya might not ask for anything extra. That's like paying your credit card bill in full, no interest. So borrowing is okay, but paying back quickly saves you from extra costs. Interest is just the thank you for borrowing. The faster you pay, the less you owe. It's a simple way to remember how credit cards work, and it helps you make smart choices. Learning about credit cards' debt and interest gives you a money superpower. The first rule, only borrow what you know you can pay back. Before using a credit card, ask, will I have the money to pay for this soon? If not, it's better to wait and save up. The second rule, avoid too much debt at once. Too many promises can be hard to keep. The final rule, always have a plan for paying back what you borrow. Grown-ups call this a budget. Having a plan keeps you in control of your money. That's how you become a money super kid. A credit card is a tool, not magic, not free money. It's a loan from the bank based on a promise. The most important promise isn't to the bank, it's to yourself. Promise to be smart with your choices and only borrow when it's right for you. Practice with your own money, save up for something special, or decide whether to spend now or later. These small choices help you get ready for bigger ones. Next time you see a grown-up use a credit card, you'll know it's not magic, it's a promise. And the secret to using it well is being a good promise keeper. By learning this now, you're on your way to being money smart. That's a promise you can be proud of. You're getting ready for a great future.